Hey there! Welcome to the December 8th, 2022 edition of Confronting Conservatives. I'm Barry P. Cook. And, I've had to do a lot of confronting in the past day or two because conservatives cannot get over this Twitter thing. They can't see it for what it actually is, and they keep thinking that it's some horrible, illegal, immoral, awful thing that Twitter did, and they keep thinking it's First Amendment violations and or election interference, and it's like, it's just not. Let's go through some of the dumb shit they said and some of the responses I made to them. Dinesh D'Souza is one of the people who's been flipping his lid over all this Twitter censorship business. And I guess in a second batch of document releases, Twitter was shown to have, blacklisted essentially political candidates while they were running for office, I guess among other things. And so he said, Elon Musk confirms U.S. political candidates were blacklisted while running for office. So I said, oh well, they were never under any obligation to treat the parties equally. At Fox News certainly doesn't. See, that kind of thing went by the wayside when Reagan undid the equal time rules. So shut the fuck up. And he should, in fact, shut the fuck up. Back before St. Ron was president, there used to be a thing called the equal time rule. And it meant that if ABC, NBC, CBS, etc. gave airtime, or if a radio station gave airtime to a particular political candidate, they had to give a commensurate amount of time to the other side. And Reagan and his administration gutted this rule. So now there is no such rule. Equal time is not required. So why are these people butthurt that Twitter would have had a bias and acted on it? Blame St. Ronnie for that. And I said this in my last video on the subject. Fox News is no different. They've been doing that shit since 1996. Maybe not blacklisting specifically, hard blacklists. But you don't think they played favorites among people who are going to espouse right-wing points of view versus people who are going to espouse left-wing points of view on their network? They certainly did in the case of who they gave shows to. Where's the counterpoint to Sean Hannity? There used to be Hannity and Combs, but they ended that. Where's the counterpoint to Tucker Carlson? Where's the counterpoint to any of their right-wing pundits? It's non-existent. So, I don't know what these people are thinking when they make this stupid argument that Twitter did something heinous. It wasn't gregarious, that's for sure. But it's nothing Fox News hasn't been doing since 1996. And it's nothing that right-wing talk radio hasn't been doing since the 90s. Although now it's morphed into more podcasts than radio. But seriously, shut the fuck up. Then there's this guy, Benny Johnson. He's a right-wing blue check on Twitter. I don't know who he is other than that. I don't care. Here's what he had to say. Good morning to everyone except smooth brains who don't understand that secretly silencing, all caps, one party in an election means rigging the election. So I said, no single party was silenced, you fucking moron. Certain accounts and certain tweets were disallowed, but there were still plenty of you Republican assholes flapping your gums all over Twitter all day long, every day. So shut the fuck up. They didn't silence one party. That party still had plenty of assholes running their mouths all over Twitter. So stop it. Stop with the hyperbole. And to the extent that they did shut people up or keep information off the site, that doesn't rig an election. Any more than anything Fox News ever did rigs an election. There used to be this thing called newspapers, okay? And, there still is, but you know what I'm saying. And they have, most of them, have a page dedicated to submissions from the public. And, writers who don't necessarily work for the paper, but who might write a column from time to time and submit it. So I'm talking about the op-eds page and the contributors page and the letters to the editor page. Do you think they ran every single letter they got? Do you think they ran every single submitted op-ed that they got all the time? Of course they didn't. Now, in the case of a newspaper, they have limited space, so you can't compare it to Twitter necessarily, where, it's the internet, right? And it's just bandwidth, and it's quote-unquote infinite. It's not like Twitter was going to fill up if they didn't curate the submissions, as it were. But it's a newspaper. It's not owned by the public. They don't have a right to unlimited access to that space whenever they want it. They submit content, and it either gets printed or it doesn't. Should newspapers be fair and not slant their editorial decisions such that only conservative points of view get rejected? Of course not. And I don't think that they do. I've not heard of it. But here's the thing, Twitter didn't do that either. There were plenty of right-wing douchebags flapping their gums all over Twitter in 2020 and before, and still. Tommy Loren. Marjorie Taylor Greene eventually got banned for saying dumb shit, but she was flapping her gums on there. I mean, the list goes on and on. Believe me when I tell you, I dealt with these assholes every day, all day on Twitter. There was never a complete and total absence of or blockout of conservatism on Twitter. It's just not what happened. So it's ridiculous. Now there's this guy, The Quartering. His name is Jeremy. He's a blue check on Twitter. He's got a YouTube presence. He sent out a tweet saying, "The machine is scared. It will lash out. It's at its most dangerous right now, cornered and afraid. The system that has been deployed against truth, is being exposed." It's not truth, Jeremy. "It's as if the rock covering all the spiders has been lifted. Watch them scurry and hide." This is what I said to him. Y'all know y'all could have called into radio shows, written letters to the editor, taken out ad space, rented billboards, stood on street corners with placards and megaphones, said your piece on Reddit and 4chan, and put giant signs on your vehicle/lawns the whole time. Right? Like, why are they so butthurt about Twitter? It's a private entity. It had no obligation ever to treat everybody equally. And their disequal treatment or unequal treatment of any particular group did not silence that group. They had plenty of places to say their thing. So I don't get the butthurt. I don't get it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. It's just ridiculous. And we're going to be dealing with this crap for a long time. But I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back with a new video soon. Hang in there, everybody. I'm Barry Peacock, and you've been watching Confronting Conservatives.